This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Thank you for joining us on the news at 11. I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. New at 11, a Carmel woman says all the rain we've been seeing lately is flooding her property thanks to a change that sends excess stormwater straight into her backyard.
RTV6's Graham Hunter shows you why the problem is so frustrating with more rain in the forecast.
Elise Montoya says every time it rains, stormwater from a nearby neighborhood is diverted onto her private property, creating a runoff area she says wasn't here before. And the problem, she says, all starts at this drain. Just off Autobahn Drive in Carmel is a reminder of old Indiana. At a home perfectly situated for one who wanders to collect their thoughts in these woods.
This tree's gonna die.
Now, the wanderer's path leads to worry for the future of her forest.
They're changing the topography of the land here.
Elise Montoya has lived on this wooded 3 acres property with her family since August 2015.
We bought it because we actually said we wanted to preserve it.
Montoya says the installation of drains and curbs on Autobahn Drive is flooding her paradise with stormwater.
Never a stream bed through here. There was never a ditch that went through here.
She shared these pictures of what it used to look like. And this week, when the rains came,
this is through our private woods.
Montoya says it brought trash.
This.
And destruction.
There should be dirt all under here and up to here, but it's been washed away.
And she wants it to stop.
Every time it rains, more erodes.
Montoya says the erosion is getting closer to her garage and says she gets no help from the city.
It doesn't seem like they care if we lose our garage, what they're doing to our property value, or if they kill our entire woods.
We reached out to the city of Carmel, but we haven't yet heard back. Reporting in Carmel, Graham Hunter, RTV6.
Thanks, Graham. We also reached out to the Indiana Department of Environmental Management, and they are still researching the issue to find out if the drainage change affected historical watersheds. If you have a problem, feel like you have nowhere else to turn, contact us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
Now to the forecast. I want to show you a time lapse of the sunset from our tower camera in downtown Indianapolis. Look at that. We are getting a break from the rain right now. Gorgeous shot there. But Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is tracking more rain and a chance of severe storms. Kevin.
Well, the good news is most of us had a break from the rain today, much needed. As far as any showers or thunderstorms overnight, they'll be very limited. We still can't seem to shake a few downpours northeast of Greensburg, others between Brookville Reservoir and Connorsville. They'll eventually fade away, just like what's been happening between Spencer and Sullivan. Going, almost gone. Overnight, our chance for rain will increase, but it's really tomorrow morning through midday that you see this start to ramp up, and that will be the first wave of some showers and thunderstorms during the day tomorrow. When we don't have the rain overnight, we'll have this patchy fog. It may be dense in a few spots, especially if you had rain today. 7 a.m. to 10, you begin to see a little expansion of the rain. By 1 o'clock, the first line of storms. I'll finish the timeline, and we'll get into our severe weather threat coming up.
Grass growing out of control and yards dug up and damaged. RTV6 is working for you to get these problems fixed after you reached out for help. We start in a neighborhood near Castleton where Monica Crump is frustrated with this mess. She says AT&T crews installed fiber cables in April, leaving mud, rocks, and standing water in her backyard. And other properties in the neighborhood are dealing with the same issue. Monica says she tried calling customer support, the project manager, and the phone number that was written on a notice card, but nothing has been done.
It's disappointing because I know that everybody works really hard to keep their yard looking nice, and it's really irritating. There was, a big urgency to put this into our neighborhood, but no urgency to clean it up.
RTV6 reached out to AT&T. The company says it is working to fix the yards, but the recent severe weather has delayed that process. If you're dealing with a similar problem, go to the RTV6 app for information on how to get these types of issues resolved.
Our last resort was calling Channel 6. Called them yesterday, and here you are today.
And RTV6 is getting answers for a Northside couple battling to prevent an area near their home from looking abandoned. The property between Paris Avenue and I-65 is managed by INDOT on one side of the fence and the city on the other. Mike and Donna Beebley say the grass grows out of control and it's a constant struggle to get anything done about it.
Anything that you get done on this street, you've got to call and call and call. Yesterday, I was on the phone for 35 or 40 minutes trying to get somebody. They kept me on hold that long and never did come to the phone.
After RTV6 worked to get answers, the Department of Public Works responded, saying the wet weather has slowed down mowing efforts. DPW says it plans to mow the area soon. We will continue to follow up to make sure that happens.
Indiana's Attorney General faces a federal lawsuit tonight. 4 women accusing Curtis Hill of sexual misconduct filed the lawsuit. They are suing for sexual harassment, gender discrimination, and retaliation. Hill is accused of inappropriately touching one state lawmaker and 3 staffers at a bar after the end of the 2018 legislative session.
It makes it really difficult to do your job when people are blaming you for not having a celebration as is custom, reminding you that that event took place. I'm at my workplace. I'm trying to do a job. That has affected me.
Well, the women said the goal of the lawsuit is to force systemic change at the State House. Hill has denied any wrongdoing. In a response to the lawsuit, he said the allegations have been reviewed 4 times and the investigations all concluded without any recommendations for further action. The lawsuit also claims other lawmakers made comments about the women or the allegations. Republican Senator Jean Lysing allegedly said the women got what they deserved because of how they were dressed. And Democratic Senator Greg Taylor allegedly complained that the allegations were turning into an unfair indictment of men because they didn't do anything to stop the misconduct. For more details on the lawsuit and the Attorney General's full response, go to the RTV6 app and click on this story.
Indianapolis Public Schools is one step closer to selecting its next leader. Today, the 3 candidates for superintendent took part in a public interview. The finalists are Devon Horton, Chief of Schools for Jefferson County Public Schools in Kentucky, Alicia Johnson, the current IPS interim superintendent, and Larry Young Jr., Assistant Superintendent of Elementary Education for Pike Township Schools. All 3 made a closing statement at the end of the interview session.
I've worked in now 3 different school districts. Some may see that as a negative, but that is a really positive element for me because I've seen things done in so many different ways.
And I don't know if you'll find another candidate who believes as deeply and as personally and as passionately as I believe what's possible for our district.
If we want people to be passionate about coming to IPS, we have to speak passionately about IPS. We have to have excellent schools, and we need ambassadors to go out there and talk about the great things that are happening in our schools.
IPS hopes to select a candidate by the end of this month.
A man accused of causing a crash in Speedway that killed a mother and daughter is set to learn his sentence in July. Police say Carl Hill was driving 89 miles per hour and ran a red light on Crawfordsville Road near Lyndhurst right before he hit the victim's car. That crash happened in March of last year and killed 86-year-old Nola Spears and 60-year-old Donna Roseborough. The jury convicted Hill of 1 count of reckless homicide. He pleaded guilty to a 2nd count.
A retrial is underway for a man accused of double murder. Now, the crime happened more than 2 years ago. Maurice Turrentine's first trial in February ended in a mistrial after jurors started deliberating. Now, 2 men were found shot to death at a home on Villa Avenue on the southeast side of Indianapolis in April of 2017. A 4-year-old child was in the home at the time of the murders but was not physically harmed. And Metro Police want to know if you recognize a man who robbed a Jimmy John's at gunpoint. Investigators say just before 6:30 on June 4th, this suspect walked into the Jimmy John's on Illinois Street downtown and acted like a customer. Police say when the worker opened the cash register, the man pulled out a gun and took all the money. If you have information, call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
A youth program aims to prevent crime and violence by helping kids stay on the right path, specifically by staying out of gangs.
You'll be safer. The gangsters members will protect you all the way in the back over here, Terry. Very good. Everybody have fossil number 6? Yeah.
The Gang Resistance Education and Training Camp at JTV Hill Center for kids between ages 10 and 14. For 2 weeks, they learn how gang members target and manipulate them. Marilyn Gurnell, a retired IMPD officer, teaches at the camp.
1 child at a time, and that's what we're doing. If we just save 1 out of this camp, we've done our job.
Once kids age out of the gang resistance program, the mayor hopes they take advantage of Project Indy, which connects teens with summer job opportunities and training. This week, you can make your voice heard as the Fishers Police Department prepares to start using body cameras. The department will host a public meeting from 5 to 6 o'clock Thursday evening at police headquarters on Municipal Drive. Officers will give an overview of how the cameras will work, talk about community expectations, and discuss other related issues.
For the first time in more than 10 years, a busy road on the south side of Indianapolis is getting a full facelift. Today, the Department of Public Works talked about construction on Southport Road. The project includes full reconstruction below the surface and new asphalt from Bluff Road to US 31. Lanes will also be widened to increase safety for drivers. This stretch of Southport has not been resurfaced in more than a decade.
Traffic on Southport Road behind us may move a little slower than usual, but only because we're making it better for the future. After construction, we'll have a smoother, safer passage for the 18,000 drivers who travel this stretch daily.
Work is scheduled to wrap up in the fall. The project is part of the city's $400 million infrastructure plan over the next 4 years.
We are looking for employees that are enthusiastic and motivated and ready to be part of a great team.
A Central Indiana company is hiring Hoosiers as it breaks ground on a major expansion.
Thunderstorms will expand in coverage and intensity tomorrow. We'll get into our severe weather threat coming up.
And an Indiana man accused of persuading a teenager in Alaska to kill her best friend faces new charges tonight. You're watching RTV6 News at 11. We'll be right back.
Only at Zaxby's. This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
An Indiana man accused of convincing an 18-year-old in Alaska to commit murder is scheduled to be extradited to the state in July. Tonight, the FBI announced several new federal charges against 21-year-old Darren Schmiller. Now, most are related to child pornography. Schmiller is from New Salisbury in Harrison County. Investigators say he told the teen he was a millionaire and offered her $9 million to kill her friend and send videos. Schmiller is charged with murder.
New at 11, President Trump's re-election bid is now officially underway. He kicked off his 2020 campaign in Florida tonight. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez reports from Orlando.
Thousands of enthusiastic supporters packing this arena in downtown Orlando.
We're in MAGA country, that I can tell you.
To hear these words from President Donald Trump.
I stand before you to officially launch my campaign for a second term.
After an introduction by Vice President Mike Pence.
It's on, everybody. Time for round two.
And First Lady Melania Trump.
He truly loves this country.
The president sharing his 2020 campaign slogan.
We're going to keep making America great again, and then we will indeed keep America great.
And rallying against the media, the Mueller report, and Democrats, some who are vying to run against him.
Crazy Bernie Sanders, socialist government takeover.
But also still focusing on his 2016 rival, Hillary Clinton.
The free pass they gave to Hillary and her aides deleted and acid washed 33,000 emails.
The president narrowly beat her in this key battleground state where he spent this evening touting his record.
The unemployment rate is the lowest rate it's been in over 51 years.
And repeating a promise that's become a rallying cry for his supporters.
And we are building the wall. We're going to have over 400 miles of wall built by the end of next year.
And next up in the 2020 race, 20 Democrats running for their party's nomination will have their first debates next week south of here in Miami. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Orlando, Florida.
And this week, the Republican National Committee and the Trump campaign will hold a national week of training for volunteers and neighborhood organizers.
1, 2, 3, go!
Another Central Indiana company is getting bigger today. Spectra Premium broke ground on a new warehouse in Greenfield. Spectra manufactures and distributes auto replacement parts. Right now, the company employs around 250 people, but there are plans to add to that number.
We're always interested in hiring new staff. We have a great HR team, a great recruiter who is constantly going through resumes, doing interviews, getting the best people in for our business, and providing them with opportunities.
You can apply for open positions by visiting Spectra Premium's current location off County Road 300 North.
Time is running out to apply for a one-of-a-kind job that includes traveling and eating lots of barbecue. So Reynolds Wrap is looking for a chief grilling officer. The company will pay its CGO to travel across the country for 2 weeks in August in search of the tastiest ribs. All you have to do is brag on social media and share tips. You can apply for the position on the Reynolds Wrap website. The deadline is in less than 2 hours. So if you want to,
you better get on it, right?
Get on it.
Road trip.
Chief Grilling Officer. It reminds me, back when I did Midday News, we had all kinds of interviews, and there was a gentleman for Edie's Ice Cream, and he was a taste tester. And he had his taste buds insured for like $1 million. That
sounds like dream job.
Barbecue and traveling?
Right there. Yeah.
I might need to sign up while you're doing weather.
I'll be an umbrella tester, it looks like, at some point tomorrow. I think maybe we all will. Across central Indiana tonight, quiet. We do have a couple downpours, but we're not worried about any severe weather overnight, so you should get a good night's sleep. Brookville Reservoir up toward Liberty and Connorsville. And while I'm thinking about it, let me just mention this. So I think the count is final for our Saturday tornadoes, and it will stand at 10 Indiana tornadoes on Saturday. The most we've ever had in the day goes back to 1990. June 2nd, we had 37 tornadoes in one day. As far as our threat for severe weather, tomorrow it will come with the thunderstorms mainly in the afternoon and evening. 80% chance of thunderstorms at your house tomorrow. Thursday, still the chance for rain, but it's mainly confined to the morning. That's a more likely time. And then you see Friday, it sticks out, doesn't it? Because we don't have rain in the forecast during the daylight hours. As you look at your rain chances tomorrow, we'll wake up with scattered thunderstorms. The chance will increase as we go through the day. I think the coverage will increase as well. As far as our severe weather threat, lower marginal risk for much of central and northern portions of the state. The higher risk, Terre Haute, Bloomington, and Seymour during the afternoon hours, slight risk there. I'd say any individual storms that can stand out early and kind of be on their own will have an isolated tornado risk. Otherwise, you're looking at damaging wind and flooding rainfall as the main threats across the state. Temperatures, they'll make their move at 80 degrees. It's just a matter of how long the break is between rounds of thunderstorms. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, fairly widespread thunderstorms. You'll begin to see a line of storms come together as we go into the evening hours. There's that cluster at 9 to 11, then slides off to the east. This is something we won't get rid of immediately on Thursday, but the trend will be toward drying out. Highs tomorrow right about average for this time of the year. First half of the day, the best chance for rain on Thursday, noticeably cooler, 73. That breeze will be out of the northwest, dropping humidity just a bit, and gust over 20 miles per hour. 7 a.m. showers through 1 o'clock. Then those will move off to the east, and we'll be left then with dry conditions Thursday night and most of Friday. Refreshingly cooler, temperatures in the 70s. By the weekend, warm, humid, mid-80s. Thunderstorm chances increasing. Sunday, the most likely day for thunderstorms with heavy rainfall potential. 7-day planner. Temperatures next week stuck in the low to mid-80s with that daily chance for thunderstorms. I know that gets discouraging if you want it to dry out. Notice, though, where it says 40% chance of thunderstorms, there's a 60% chance you won't.
You got to look at it that way sometimes, right?
Try to be positive, Dave.
Yeah. Were you a math major? How did you do that just then?
I know, it's crazy.
That's amazing. All right, I just saw one of the craziest finishes ever at a high school baseball game.
Oh, yeah?
It was for the 2A final. We'll show it to you. And whether it's a lead foot or just a big foot, it's all the same for a rare meeting as a soccer icon meets up with an Indy 500 champ. The news at 11 continues.
You are simply the best.
Here we go, wrapping up the high school sports season at Victory Field. One of the top players in the state, Andrean pitcher Michael Doolin, 15 strikeouts tonight. He only gave up 4 hits, 1 run. But the 3A title game came down to this. Bottom of the 7th, tied at 1. Andrean's Mason Sanito, the shot to right, it falls. Robbie Ballantyne scores. Andrean defeats Edgewood 2-1, their 7th baseball state title. Then 2A game, watch this. Alexandria and Southbridge, bottom of the 7th, game tied at 3. Alexandria trailed the the entire game, but Nick Williams comes up. The runner is on second, 2 out. Pop fly, miscommunication from Southridge. The ball falls, and Alexandria wins the game. Tigers take it 4-3, their second baseball state championship. Told you it was crazy. Hey, good evening. Not too often soccer and the Speedway put their heads together, but when it involves a couple of champions, you get it, especially for Ian Rush, who gets his fair share of PR opportunities. But this one, call it a perfect pitch in tonight's Sports Extra Spotlight.
Sporting worlds collide. Tony Kanaan meeting up with the legendary Ian Rush, now an ambassador for Liverpool FC, ahead of their 3-match tour of the States. Tony's heard of Ian.
I mean, as a Brazilian, of course, that is impossible not to.
For Tony Kanaan, the 12th time is the charm at the Indianapolis. Ian knows about TK, especially his win in the 2013 Indy 500.
Yeah, well, we all know about the Indy 500, but to actually come to the track and first of all to see how massive it is and everything, you know, and when people tell me there's 300,000 or 400,000 people come to watch it, it's surreal, really.
And no meeting at the Speedway is complete without a full throttle tour of the legendary oval. Just watch Ian's eyes as Kanaan gets the Corvette Stingray up to speed.
Take it easy on it, did you?
Oh, of course not. I mean, we started doing it at 100 miles an hour, and he was okay. He was talking, recording on his phone. By the time we did 155, he was looking for the brake pedal.
All the feels, and sometimes a little overwhelming. And who could blame him?
Yeah, it's a bit nerve-wracking, but going around the bends, and he's actually shown me where there's been a few crashes and everything, so I don't think that helped anyway.
Beautiful turn. Of course, Rush knows a thing or two about pressure. He's Liverpool's all-time leading scorer. In the 80s, one of the top players in the world. He'll return next month when the Reds play friendlies at Notre Dame, Fenway, and Yankee stadiums, and has certainly seen the sport grow here in the States.
When I came out last year, it was, for me, it improved about 10-20%, and the knowledge that people know and everything, and it's absolutely amazing. And for me, it's all about Liverpool supporters. You know, there's absolutely an incredible amount of Liverpool supporters, considering the lack that we haven't won as much trophies as likes of Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal, and that.
Liverpool's motto, "You'll never walk alone." Today, neither did. Two legends, one moment, neither will forget anytime soon.
It was pretty cool to show him around, and meet a legend.
What an opportunity to come to the States for a little bit and check something like this out, right?
Yeah, and that's what I mean, when you get asked to do things and all that, but this was a must for me anyway.
Fun enough for Ian, who says he's definitely coming back one day for the Indy 500. And Tony's no stranger to soccer. His son Leo plays at a soccer school in Brazil 3 times a week. Finally tonight, first and foremost, ahead of the NBA draft on Thursday, the folks at Planters Nuts have released, wait for it, their own high-top basketball shoes. Logoed up, has the Planters Mr. Peanut face on it and all. They're taking pre-orders for it. And in all honesty, compared to some of the $300 basketball shoes out there, the price for this shoe is, well, peanuts compared to that. Just $170.
See what you did there.
If you got peanut allergies, though, all bets are off. I don't know what to do.
That's it, yeah.
You go back to the Jordan.
Leave them there, right.
Today.
Warm and humid in the morning. Isolated thunderstorms become more scattered, and then likely in the afternoon and evening. Again, the flooding threat will continue, and severe storms possible, especially afternoon and evening.
All right, thanks for joining us here on RTV6 News at 11.
GMI starts at 4:30 a.m. Have a good night.
Have a good night.